we're going to discuss everything fishing reel related, how to tie on line, how to put your reel on a pole, what the different bearings mean, what the different gear ratios mean, everything like that. So your rod should have a top and bottom on it, an area to fit the top and bottom of the reel. We're going to put the bottom of the reel in, and the top is going to line up just like that. It has a little nut on it. You can go up, go down. We're just going to go down all the way just so we're tight on the reel. Just makes it one connected piece. So step one is to take your fishing line, take your pole, get the tip of the pole, get the end of your line, and then start fishing it through the top of the eyelet all the way down to your reel. So you should be down to the reel. We're going to lift the bail up on the reel. It should lock in place. From here, we're going to take our line and just tie it in a simple knot. Just not a fishing knot, not anything else like that. Just a literal in the hole, out. Same thing again. In the hole, out. Tie it tight. We're going to cut off that lead end. And we're going to use this just as a visual piece of tape. So you could use Scotch tape, you could use any kind of tape. I just use this piece of paper just to show you guys. Makes it a little bit easier to have a visual on it. So once we have our knot, we're going to take our fishing line. We're going to put a pencil through it. They should all have a hole in the middle. This just makes it a little easier. Put a pencil through it, and then drop that down next to our feet. And we're just going to hold. So once we have our line secured down there, going up through our rod, through all the eyelets, we have our tape over our knot. We're going to flip the bail end over, and then we're going to slowly start reeling. And then it's going to slowly start pulling the line, which we have in between our toes a little bit. And then it's going to slowly start putting the line on the rod. So the more you go, the thicker it's going to be. All line and reel have a certain test weight to it, and it determines how much you could put on the reel itself. So if it's going to be a heavier duty line like this, which is 30 test monofilament, you're only going to be able to put a certain amount of yards on there. So if you have lighter line like 5-pound filament, you're going to be able to put a lot more line on. I'm going to heavily preface this part with all of these are just kind of abouts. They're not for certain. You can catch a fish on anything. You can catch a fish with a different gear ratio, with a different rod, with anything like that. It doesn't really matter. Some of these are just better at doing things than other things. So the gear ratio of 5.2 to 1, yeah, that's good for like crankbaits, different things like that, something you can kind of haul on. Something a little bit snappier, like a jerk bait or a worm you're dragging on the bottom. You want that gear ratio to be a little higher, maybe like an 8 to 1 or a 7 to 1. But like I said, you could do a worm with this, you could do a jerk bait with this. It all kind of, they're just approximate. The 5.2 to 1 is just how many times the reel will make a rotation with one turn. So one turn, like that just turned 5.2 times. So one turn, 5.2 rotations. So the two things you're going to see when shopping for a reel are going to be the gear ratio number, the 5.2, 6 to 1, 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10 to 1, that number, which is number of rotations, and then number of bearings. So this has 7 bearings, but I know for a fact this is a cheaper reel. So don't trust the number of bearings. The quality of bearing always matters more. Unfortunately, you can't tell the quality of the bearing until you actually take it out and use it. So that's going to be, how smooth it feels, the number of rotations you're able to get through, the lifetime of the bearing, different things like that. If it's going to stay clean over time, is it going to get dirty easier? A lot of those things we can't tell So people just say the number of bearings, but unfortunately they could be 7 cheap bearings like this, and you're not gonna, be none the wiser. So drag is the amount of tension and force it takes to pull line. So I didn't reel at all. Whoops. Very important function of the reel is to set drag. That's going to be done on the dial on the top. Sometimes they're on the side, but this is going to be dial on top. So if you want less drag, like it's really easy for fish to kind of pull your line and just take it, you're going to turn it left. Just any movement at all can take it a little bit tighter, turn it right, makes it a little harder, or you can really crank down on it, and it's very hard to pull the line. So if you're going to have lighter line, you want lighter drag just so your line doesn't rip. If you're going to have heavier duty stuff, you want to go really tight on it. That way you know your line can take it.